Hello, everybody. David Shuster here. The criticism is intensifying now against Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem over her department's handling of the Texas floods. House Democrat Jared Moskowitz, who before entering Congress was the director of emergency management for the state of Florida, says Noem is proving to be clueless.
You got regional offices that are 20-30% empty because they were forced to leave. Those are the people that call the state directors. Those are the people who know the county administrators. If you look at what happened in Texas, evacuations are done at the local level in coordination with the state. And so she has no idea what she's doing.
On top of the accusation that Noem does not get the importance of federal and state coordination and emergency management, Noem is also getting blasted for hollowing out FEMA itself. There are now multiple reports that FEMA failed to answer 2/3 of the distress calls during the Texas floods, a disaster that has claimed over 130 lives with another 160 people missing and presumed dead. Cue the fireworks in NBC's Meet the Press.
The New York Times is reporting that thousands of calls from flood victims to FEMA call centers went unanswered in the middle of this ongoing disaster because you didn't renew contracts to keep call center staff in place until nearly 1 week after the floods. Why did it take so long to extend those contracts?
It's just false. Those contracts were in place. Nobody,
it didn't take 5 days?
No employees were off of work. Every one of them was answering calls. So false reporting, fake news, and it's discouraging. It's discouraging that during this time when we have such a loss of life and so many people's lives have turned upside down, that people are playing politics with this because the response time was immediate.
The FEMA response time was immediate? Try delayed. CNN reports that Noem personally imposed a new red tape rule. Any FEMA contract or grant over $100,000 now sits on Noem's desk for approval, introducing exactly the kind of bureaucratic holdup that hampered the emergency response teams. And the impact is significant. According to FEMA sources, urban search and rescue crews did not get deployed until 3 days after the floods hit. And rescue officials say Noem's $100,000 threshold is pennies when compared to the billions of dollars at stake if crisis relief is late and countless people are lost.
Just to be very clear, on July 7th, 15.9% of calls were answered. I mean, does that concern you that only 15% of calls were answered? These are people in a desperate state. FEMA often the first call that they make, only 15% were answered on July 7th, several days after the floods.
These contracts were in place and those people were in those call centers and they were picking up the phone and answering these calls from these individuals. So that report needs to be validified. I'm not certain it's accurate, and I'm not sure where it came from.
The report and others like it came from FEMA employees who are infuriated at the way their agency has been mismanaged and disabled from within. Earlier this year, the Trump administration fired or doged hundreds of employees at FEMA and at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA. Kristi Noem, also known as Ice Barbie, has become synonymous with PR-heavy stunts, including glammed-up raids, bulletproof vested selfies, Border Patrol glamour shots, even media embeds with Dr. Phil. But inside the press corps and across the political world, the criticism is loud and getting louder. Even White House aides reportedly pass around footage of Noem's cosplays and chuckle. And lawmakers who actually have experience with emergency rescue and recovery say Noem's mismanagement is literally costing people their lives.
The reason why I'm so animated is, look, I was an emergency management director in Florida, a Democrat for a Republican governor. Okay, this is supposed to be nonpartisan. It's supposed to be bipartisan. Okay, we're supposed to take the politics out of all of this. And that's why I'm so alarmed based on the decisions that she has made that I really think a lot of people don't know. If you talk to members of Congress, you talk to Republicans from Louisiana and Mississippi or in Georgia, okay, yeah, they want FEMA reform, but they don't want FEMA removal. They're well aware that FEMA is necessary. And so, yeah, I think this administration, when the president says, he doesn't know, that's right. I think they actually don't know how bad Kristi Noem has made FEMA.
The question for the American public comes down to this. When a major disaster strikes, do you want federal help sent in immediately, sometimes before state and local leaders can get their own grip on an unfolding crisis, or do you want FEMA to wait and have government leaders like Kristi Noem bide their time making television appearances while simultaneously putting off spending decisions? Most Americans, I imagine, want boots on the ground immediately, not photo ops. What Americans got this time in Texas was a FEMA management and Homeland Security Secretary Noem more interested in optics than in getting the trucks and resources rolling immediately. And that may have made the difference between some people in Texas being rescued or not. By the way, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is also getting blasted over the floods. He recently seemed to diminish the significance of the lives lost by comparing the situation to a losing football team.
You ask, I'm going to use your words, who's to blame? Know this. That's the word choice of losers. Let me explain one thing about Texas. And that is, Texas, every square inch of our state cares about football. You could be in Hunt, Texas, Huntsville, Texas, Houston, Texas, any size community, they care about football. High school, Friday night lights, college football, or pro. And know this, every football team makes mistakes.
Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.